4 o'clock on your Tuesday, and oh, it's a cold one around the Denver area. We reached about 20 straight hours of sub-zero wind chills in Denver, and we have about 40 to 50 to go. Oh, doesn't that sound pleasant?
Yeah, a little bug in the corner down there in the low teens. At this hour, we're waiting on snow to be part of the picture. Saw some in some areas this morning. It's going to come down from the north right through the metro area overnight. Thanks for joining us for 4 o'clock at 9 News. I'm Tom Green.
And I'm Kim Christensen. We have team coverage of the weather tonight. Jeremy Hahola is looking at how to prepare for the extended cold. We're going to start with Ria Jha, who's driving around the north metro area. We know the snow is coming at this time, so tell us where you are right now and what you're seeing, Ria.
Yeah, we're heading south from Loveland right now on I-25, heading towards the metro. I'm going to flip the camera so you can see the roads. Honestly, it's been lightly flurrying on and off since we've been driving for the past hour or so, but right now it's pretty clear. This thick layer of clouds has been pretty consistent throughout the drive, but roads right now are honestly fine, just clear, dry. If you are heading home, right now would be a great time to do it. I know that maybe later we might not be staying like this for long. Our meteorologist Kathy Saban will have more on this later in her forecast, but honestly right now that's kind of all we have to say in terms of the roads. They look great. We're going to toss it over to Jeremy Hahola, who's been keeping track of the weather preps and how the city is prepping for this snow and the cold.
Yeah, thank you, Ria. Well, here in the Mile High, the temps are really low. It's in these conditions where frostbite can form in less than 30 minutes if you do not have the right gear, and water turns to ice real fast. It's this time when people really start bracing for the cold, but also get busy helping others. Lunchtime at the downtown Denver rescue mission on this cold Tuesday afternoon is busier than normal. The dining hall packed full of people in heavy coats escaping the bitter cold.
We want to bring people inside because we want to keep people safe, warm, and as healthy as possible during the cold.
Stephen Hinkle with the rescue mission tells us the shelter anticipates it will serve more than 1,000 people in the metro area as cold grips the city. The rescue mission is among several shelters that partner with the city of Denver, which activated more cold shelter room through Thursday.
When the cold weather activates, that really means that our capacities really increase drastically. We're going to serve more meals. We're going to provide more shelter to individuals who are typically staying outside, but we want to bring them inside because we want people to stay healthy. We want people to avoid frostbite. We want people to stay warm.
On the road, City of Denver plow truck crews are already on duty with up to 50 plow trucks ready to go. On the state side, CDOT tells us 100 plow trucks will be ready in the metro area. And while they are busy taking care of the roads, don't let the cold throw a wrench into your peace of mind at home.
Know where that main shutoff valve is in the event something does happen.
Sonny Welch with Plumbers Local 3, a union that represents 1,000 plumbers, tells us now is the time to prevent freezing pipes.
It's a good idea if you think that you have a vulnerable situation, maybe just open that faucet up a little bit and just let that water drip just to keep that water flowing so it doesn't have the opportunity to freeze that pipe.
Yeah, good advice there. Usually plumbers don't get those overwhelming phone calls when it's this cold. It's usually when things start to thaw out and those cracks start appearing. And you know cracks start appearing when you start seeing water running all over the place. In the meantime, Sonny Welch there recommends that you also open up your cabinets and vulnerable areas in your house. That way warm air can hit those pipes. But now let's toss it to my colleague, Kathy Saban, who is nice and warm in the 9 News studio with more.
Oh, that's such a great report, Jeremy. Such great information. I love that you've got the hat and the gloves on and really giving us some important information for this latest Arctic blast, which is bringing flurries and light snow showers to Denver. But as Ria mentioned, so far the roads look good. We have some light accumulation on some of the slopes of the Front Range foothills out here, but notice dog walkers, cars looking good. So get a move on because that's going to be changing in a matter of the next 2 hours or so. We've dropped to 12 in Denver, 14 in Greeley and Fort Collins. Factor in the wind. Wind chill not a huge factor yet, but it will be. Wind chill could go to 10 below in Denver. And so we'll see the winter weather advisory continue for Denver through 11 a.m. tomorrow for 3 to 6 inches of snow. The snow ends midday tomorrow, but then with clearing skies, the coldest air settles in tomorrow night in into Thursday morning. And so between now and Thursday morning, a winter weather impact alert because of the cold and accumulating snow and the impact of travel. We're starting to see the snow fill in on the radar just a bit. Just to the east of Denver, out toward DIA, down to Parker, Castle Rock, up to Boulder, Greeley, and Fort Collins, under a winter weather advisory through midday tomorrow. Foothill areas could see up to 10 inches of snow by Wednesday night. Snow should be filling in here, we think, probably between now and 6:30, turning heavy overnight, continuing overnight through the morning drive. Delayed start certainly possible for schools tomorrow. Snow will wind down mid-morning, and then as skies gradually clear tomorrow, that's when we're going to be talking about the coldest of the cold of this Arctic outbreak. When does the sun return? When do we bust out of the deep freeze? Those answers are just ahead.
Right now, Thornton police are looking for a little help in finding these 3 suspects involved in a shooting last week. It happened in the parking lot of Jumping Jack Cash, north of East 88th in Washington. The shooting was early Friday morning, about 1:30 in the morning. One man was shot and was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. He's expected to survive. Anyone with information is asked to call Thornton police.
New at 4, the Aurora Police Department says it's arrested one of the people they say were involved in a kidnapping and torture case at the troubled Edge of Lowry apartment complex. APD says Denver officers arrested this woman on Saturday, 34-year-old Yusmary Panza Ruiz. She was one of 3 outstanding fugitives wanted in that case. On December 17th, the Aurora police say a group of a dozen armed people kidnapped a couple from a unit at the Edge at Lowry and then took them to another empty unit. That's where investigators say the group tortured and robbed the couple before letting them go. Panza Ruiz becomes the 10th arrest made in relation with this case. She's now facing second-degree kidnapping, among other charges.
There are also 2 people that still have not been arrested. The other 9 suspects are in ICE custody. The investigations are ongoing. We'll continue to update you as more information is released.
Wheat Ridge police say 11 puppies saved from bad living conditions are now improving. The department says it found the dogs after responding to a welfare check at a room at the La Quinta Inn on February 1st. Officers say the puppies were kept in a few kennels and smelled of feces, and at least one had an open wound. They were taken to the Foothills Animal Shelter where they were cleaned and tested for parvovirus. One of those came up positive, but shelter staff say they're all getting better. The owner of the dogs now facing counts of animal cruelty and inhumane treatment.
Colorado's newest fire department got its first real test over the weekend as a wildland fire broke out in Douglas County. Conifer Fire was created last month after Inter Canyon and North Fork Fire voted to merge together. That new department was able to put out the fire near Deckers on Friday after it grew to about 3.5 acres. The chief says the merger allowed them to send more resources right away without having to use mutual aid.
In the past, we might have responded out, got to the incident, and then called mutual aid as we were looking at it. But when you have a hunch something is going on, we can put those resources on the road much sooner.
Elk Creek Fire is also expected to join that merger later this year.